cool. Today we're taking a quick look at Men I Trust Numb. It's a sick track from like every perspective, and you just heard the sick bass line. So I want to preface this analysis by saying this is definitely not how music is written. It's how it's analyzed. All right, so let's break down the chords and see what's going on. Also, I'm doing this video on guitar because I think it works well in this song, I guess, and we're not talking about any specific voicings anyways. All right, so first we start with our tonic 1 chord, this B major 7, and then we have this easy minor 2-5-1 in the same key, the relative minor of G sharp minor. All right, I mean, I guess we can just move on to the good stuff, I guess. So on first glance, we could just say, oh, easy key change to A, or F sharp minor, where we do this minor 2-5-1 real quick. But what I think is kind of interesting to look at here, and for the rest of the song, is how and why Men I Trust switch from B to A major, or for the last time, G sharp to F sharp minor. Well, to answer how, they use the 6th chord of B major, this G sharp minor 7, and then they change one note. They change this D sharp into a D to change the chord into the 7 chord of A major, G sharp minor 7 flat 5. So by only changing one note, the key change is like super slick, but it's still present, right? The flat 5 is even stressed in the melody. So yeah, now that our key is changed, we have this F sharp minor 2-5-1, which is kind of parallel to the earlier G sharp minor 2-5-1. So after this minor 2-5-1, we use this E flat diminished chord to pass us to this string of 4 chords, this E, A, D, G, major 7. But before we go to those 4 chords, this diminished chord is it's super mind-blowing because it both follows and breaks this minor 2-5-1 cycle we've been doing. Let's first establish that our ears here expect an E minor 2-5-1. We had it in G sharp, then we had it in F sharp, so we kind of expect it in E. But when we look at this E flat diminished 7 chord, we notice that it has 3 out of 4 notes in common with this expected chord, right? We have our A, we have our F sharp, and we have a C, the stressed C. So because we have so many common tones, we kind of get fulfilled in that expectation. But at the same time, we break the pattern with that one different note. We have an E flat instead of the E. So what this allows us to do is treat this root note, this E flat, as like a chromatic walk-up tone to the next root note, this E in the E major 7, which is definitely not the B7 we're looking for. So, pattern broken. All right, so on to this new sort of 4 chord section. The first thing that sticks out here is how all the chords are major 7s. Like, you would think this shouldn't work, right? And there's like instability here because this doesn't fit in a single key. Well, the second thing we notice is the super, super strong root movement. So the E in the first chord is the 5th of A. The root of the A chord, the A, is the 5th of D. And then the D is the 5th of G. This super strong movement, not to mention like how Men I Trust like mixes and performs their bass lines, it pretty much cancels out any instability from those major 7s, right? And more importantly, I think that these 5-to-1s are like mini resolutions that prepare us for the final 5-1, where Men I Trust throws in the suspended chord. So yeah, these last 4 chords are like a really nice resolution to the end of this long progression and set us up for that big payoff at the end. So yeah, if you stuck with me this long, you kind of deserve like a TLDR. So we start with home bass, then a minor 2-5-1, then we smoothly change keys to another minor 2-5-1, then again super smoothly change to this new sort of resolution section, and then we get to our final 5-1 turnaround. So yeah, I mean, Men I Trust is sick. Key changes don't have to be scary, and bass is like super important. Oh yeah, side note. Sometimes the progression repeats with the F sharp 7 played earlier as like a quick turnaround sort of thing.